Greetings, Guzzlers. Now, we're going Italian again tonight. No, it's not the pasta queen. Oh, I discovered, I was setting up an Apple TV box and I was putting my Netflix onto it. Was it Netflix? No, Prime. Well, and Netflix. And just trying it out, just making sure it was all working. And I discovered there was a pasta queen episode I haven't watched. Whoa. Don't tell them off. Anyway, it's not the pasta queen one today. It's Grandma Gina again. This is Grandma Gina's chicken piccata. She's sort of like the pasta queen's nonna. Well, by name. I've never met her nonna. I don't know what she looks like. Anyway, but I digress. This is a chocolate porter. And it's in a Camden Town brewery glass. But the chocolate porter is Italian. So, keeping in with the theme. Here's the only can I got and almost drunk it all. So who knows what's next. But anyway, Grandma Gina's chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is obviously maybe chicken. Okay. Now, more traditionally, an Italian piccata is a veal piccata. But we'll come to that in a minute. But before we can do anything else, we've got to do something with these breasts. Okay, so I've got a pack of breasts here. Just going to trim off some of these mankier bits, because what we need to do is slice them into, like, I think there was a bit of bone there. So I'm just going to, I'm not sure how successful this is going to be because of the way it's shaped, but that's better. Okay, so I've got two thinner fillets there and they're not quite thin enough, so we're going to be pounding the crap out of them. Yeah, and also just might want to trim off a few little bits there. So like I say, traditionally in Italy this would be more commonly made with veal, and actually part of the reason behind that was because at the time that this dish was sort of in its forte, if you like, I might trim that in a bit, it was actually, veal was cheaper than other meats, surprisingly. It's not like that now. And as a result, over time, sort of it's sometimes been a change to some, you know, other meat like we're making. So I'm just going to finish off trimming some of these mankier bits, cutting them in half, and then we're going to make them thinner. We're going to beat the crap out of them. Right, I've got myself a baking tray out. I've got a dish with some flour in, and what we want to do is we just want to add a little bit of salt to that, a little bit of pepper to that. I'm going to need that again in a minute. Where are they gone? There we do, little buggers. I'm going to give that a little bit of a mix. Now, a piccata is a thin pan-fried fillet of meat that's been dredged in flour, and it's cooked in or sort of cooked after it's been pan-fried, cooked in a sauce of lemon juice, capers, parsley and butter. Capers isn't always in it, all right? But anyway, first things first, we're going to take our fillets and I'm going to lay them out on this baking tray because we want to season them. And although we've seasoned the flour, we want to give these a bit of a that one talk bit of a sort of, probably not using my hands would probably be easy, wouldn't it? Oh, that one's Not very happy. That's one of the thinner ones. And like I say, it originated, well, I didn't tell you, but it's Italian. But the Italian Americans actually changed it from being veal to chicken. So veal piccata is more typically, what do you call it? Italian, and the chicken piccata is more typical of Italian Americans, you know, Italian immigrants to America. So I've done that side. I'm just going to flip this over, and we're then just going to season the other side. And actually, what I might as well do is, how many bits have I got there? Is that just that one bit? Yeah. I might as well do the other bit on there, and then we're going to use the flour and we're going to start our cooking. I said that just now, didn't I? Well, we're going to get in a minute. Now, I've already started flouring my chuck-in slices. Basically, just take them up, and then we just want to lightly coat them in the flour. Now, sometimes you see a dish very much like this. There's a bit of chicken on there, I have to get rid of that. You see a dish very much like this, and it's coated with breadcrumbs. That's not a piccata. Okay, it is very similar. It's sort of cooked, cooked the same way, sort of, but a piccata is just floured. A Milanese is breadcrumbed. We're making a piccata. Now, piccata is the past passive participle of piccare, which literally means larded, which in turn means like to prick or to pierce. It also means seasoned and pounded flat. Okay, so that's why it's called chicken piccata or veal piccata. Both interchangeable. Right, now I've coated those. Okay, but we don't throw the flour away because we're going to be using that in a bit. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side, and now we'll prepare the pan. So we start cooking. All right, mate? Yes, I know I've said that 3 times, possibly 4. Who cares? If you don't shut up, I'll give you a bashing as well. So I've got my pan here. Now pretty good. And we're going to have about 2 tablespoons or so of oil, olive oil, and of that butter. We're going to add about half of that butter. Okay, that will do. Perhaps should have got the oil a bit hotter first, but never mind. So we're just going to heat that up, get the oil nice and hot, get the butter melted. Oh, I was going to get rid of that bit of chicken, wasn't I? That's a bit better. Now, we've tenderised the meat, which is all part of this process. Got me summery top on, by the way. I've had some nice weather. Typically today it pissed hard. Anyway, never mind. You all right, my little friend? Is the meat all right? Keep your eye on it? Yeah? All right. Now, sometimes other ingredients are added, like shallots, garlic. We're keeping it pretty simple, pretty true to its sort of roots. Because if it was veal, it would be often known as piccata di vitello al limone. Basically, veal piccata in lemon sauce. So it is very lemony. But like I say, you can add other bits. Now, also, typically in America, Italian Americans, they would cook this and they would accompany it with some form of starch. Might be pasta, potato, whatever. In Italy, this would be more typically a dish that you would have as like your second course. So you just had the meat with the sauce. That's what we're doing. We're going to pretend we're Italian. That, and also because the wife said, I can't have too much starch, it's bad for you. Fat Club, not that, call it Fat Club, sorry. The F Club. Didn't like it. So that's starting to come up temperature, the butter's melted. Okay. So let's give it a go. So we're just going to, and it shouldn't take too long, but we're going to have to do this in batches, okay? We're going to put some of these fillets in here. I've only got room to do like 4 really. And we're just going to cook them now on that side, on each side. So we're just starting to get a little bit colour in it. Okay. Oh, almost picked up the wine then. Oh, that'd be right. I could drink that. I'm drinking that, couldn't I? And it's a 1-pan dish because we're going to cook the meat in it. Take the meat out, leave the pan as it is, add the other sauce ingredients, get the sauce going, put the meat back in, finish it all off. As for a garnish, typically you would add some slices of lemon, so we'll be slicing that, and some parsley. And in fact, it's because of the lemon. One theory is this essentially seems to come from the Lombardy area, but it's believed it could probably be something to do with Sicilians because of the lemons, because Sicily, big place for lemons. Don't do everything else very well, my mate. Yeah. So really, I think I'll let you have a pause and you go do what you like, get yourself a beer or whatever. And like I say, all I'm going to do is when that started catching a little bit, flip them over. I'm going to put them back on that pan and I'm going to cover it with some foil while we do the sauce. But I might get bored and I might come back and bore you a bit more before I do all that. Right, so we've got some bits cooked, as it were, sort of browned on both sides. So I'm just covering that over with that. So I've just got my remaining bits in there. Oh look, this must be magic beer from Camden. The glass keeps filling up. It's magic beer. Shut up. He's trying to tell you I've got another one out of the fridge, don't be stupid. Magic beer fills itself. Just one can. Shut up. Otherwise you're bowed and you're going back there again. Bloody got another one from the fridge. As if. That's the last of the chicken out. So like I said, we're just going to lightly cover that over and I'm just going to move that out of the way. Now, I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. So now we want to deglaze our pan. So into that, in goes that lemon juice. Now the capers, like I said to you, probably only want about half of those. Yeah, I don't think I'll go overboard. I think we'll just stick with that for now. Okay. Now I've got to use a wooden spoon to stir this, remember? Because that's what the pasta queen says you have to do to make a proper sauce. Okay. And then we've got our chicken stock. You might have noticed before that was in a jug. I decided to sieve it because it was a little bit lumpy. And in goes that white wine. And now we just want to boil this. Okay. We want to boil this, thicken it up a bit. Now, we will be thickening it up a little bit with the remaining butter. And what we do with the remaining butter is we tip that into that flour. And although we're not going to use all of the flour, to get a little bit of sort of a bit of a roux type thing going on, we're just going to mash this. That fork bin then, what was that me? Just going to mash it into a bit of the flour, okay, and we will be then adding that a bit later on into the sauce, once that sauce has come up and boiled a bit, okay, and then we'll throw the rest of the flour away. Okay, I've probably put too much flour in there given that we were only lightly coating it. Now, yes, I know it's beer and I'm about to tell them, keep your nose out, little git. Now, I was just about to say, although I'm drinking beer, yes, I'm telling them, although I'm drinking beer with it, the Piccata is probably best drunk with a nice crisp and white wine, like a Pinot Noir or what. I mean, you can do it with a red, you know, a light Pinot Noir or a Pinot Grigio. This is a Sauvignon Blanc, which is just as good, although this one is from Chile. The wife's drinking the rest of that, but I thought on principle I ought to at least try it because it's gone in there, isn't it? Let me turn that heat up a bit more. So, oh, that's nice, that one, actually. I said you didn't have to go overboard because we're cooking with it. Actually, that's quite nice. Right, so we're just going to boil this for a bit. Don't touch. And then we're just going to prepare the lemon and parsley garnishes. I've got that parsley, and we don't want to chop it too fine. I've taken the big thick stalks off, okay, but we just want to give it a bit of a rough chop. Okay, that's the parsley done. But like I say, traditionally this would be served with slices of lemon. Is that camera moved again? Are you pissing about with my camera? It's because I moved you over a bit. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to make some thin slices of lemon. And these will, like I say, be like a garnish. Don't you fall on the floor, you bastard. Oh, it's a half lemon. That'll do. These will be a garnish. Okay, quite traditional. So we get that on there. And now, just going to let that boil for a bit longer. And we're almost there. This wine's a little bit of sort of don't actually think, but possibly the beer took the edge off the first glass I had, first mouthful. Not really a session wine, I don't think. Not unpleasant, but for me that's a little bit acidic. Right, that's been boiling for a little while. So what we're going to do now is just, let me put that over there. Slide it, it annoyed the crap out of me. I'm now just going to take that floury butter and we're just going to toss that in. A little bit there, a little bit there. Oh, there's a lump there. Oh, there's a lump there. Now, like I said, we don't want any of the rest of that. That can be thrown away. And we're now just going to melt that in and thicken that sauce a little bit. Okay. Now these hex guard, it's either a hex guard or a hex clad, I can't remember. This is the hairy biker one, far superior to that other chef. I'm not going to name him, who promotes the other one, but anyway. So this doesn't actually need an awful lot of deglazing, but it obviously put in all your wine and things like that, you sort of use it to help dig off the bits, but that's not really a problem here. But anyway, we just now want to cook this through, cook that flour through and that butter through, and get that to thicken up. Get on there, you little bugger. Oi! Oh, it's alright, it's an empty can, you don't know yet. He thinks he's got a full can. Alright then, you can have that one. Yeah. So long as you don't mention again that this is not a magic pint that keeps refilling itself without it going to the fridge. Alright? Agree to that? You can keep the can. Good boy. Yeah, got a fucking clue. Right, my sauce has thickened a bit. So what we're now going to do is we're going to put our chicken into that sauce. It's going to be a little bit of a squeeze to get it all in there. But it doesn't matter too much if we have to overlap it a bit, because we're going to make sure that that chicken all gets. Let me get rid of that. You drunk your beer yet, mate? No? That's all right. Good boy, don't rush it. Stupid bastard. Yeah. We just want to cook this through for about 5 minutes and then turn it over another 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll be ready to serve it. So I've got a dish ready I'm going to lay it out in, okay, and then we can then eat it, can't we? So really not a lot else to tell you about chicken piccata. If you were making veal piccata, you'd make it exactly the same way, except you use veal instead of chicken. But that's it really. Splashed a bit, just getting rid of some of the oil. I think the wife's still in the bath, so she's not ready to eat yet. Oh no, hang on, she's moving. She'll be wanting to get eaten. She'll be hungry. Right, I've just flipped it. So like I say, we're just going to cook that a little bit longer. I've had a little taste of the sauce, very lemony, which is what you expected. But I don't think we need to add any more salt or pepper. So, big and right there. What we'll do is we'll lay it out in this dish in a minute. And let's have a couple more minutes. Decorate it, and then we'll taste it. So I'm just going to get out my chicken, just lay it out in here. Now the sauce, some of that chicken, them thin bits sort of fell apart, but it don't matter. And there's that bit there that went well weird, didn't it? And then we're just going to take that remaining sauce, spoon. We just want to spoon that over the top. Seems a lot more, I mean, I'm using the quantities that old Grandma Gina said, but there seems to be an awful lot more there. Sauce wise than she had, unless she didn't put all the sauce on, I don't know. And then we just lay some lemon on there, although to be honest it is more of a garnish, because if you taste that sauce there's plenty of lemon in it. Actually, I should have put the parsley on beforehand. But there is our chicken piccata. So, I'm afraid you're going to have to move, mate, because I need to serve it. So, I'll get some plates. Get me beam out of there. And let's have a little toaster. Here we go then. plate it up, let's give it a go. So, meat's nice and tender as you'd expect. That is superb. Nice and lemony. I don't know what else to say. Bloody delicious. You don't need it with anything else. That's one meal in one. Alright, mate. That, Grandma Gina's chicken piccata. You've got to make this. Not that one, I'm having